Thank you so much for coming to the FEC SIMSEA joint seminars. My name is Yushi Morioka. I'm a senior researcher working at JAMS in Japan. So today I'm very pleased to moderate the first seminars by Dr. Hakashi Sedas, for his 30 minutes talk and followed by 15 minutes Q&A and 15 minutes call to actions. So this seminar series is a part of the Future Earth funded cross-cutting initiative called Meta Network, which was co-developed with the SIMSEA, which stands for the Sustainability Initiatives in the Marginal Seas of the South and East Asias. So this is a pioneering network for networks in Asias that connects marine coastal science and also policy and practice to foster the more resilient and sustainable futures. So today's speakers, Dr. Hakase Hayashidas, has a lot of international experiences on the marine biogeochemical researches. So that's why I have invited him to give a talk today. So he obtained, let me give me a brief introduction to Dr. Hakashi Hayashidas. So Dr. Hayashi Hakasedas obtained a PhD in the Earth and Ocean Sciences at the University of Victoria, Canada in 2019. Then he moved to the University of Tasmania as a postdoc and joined the JAMS Tech in 2022 as a researcher to study the short-range prediction models for phytoplankton blooms in the Northwest Pacific. Actually, his system is quite beneficial for the sustainable development and management of the marine environment, not necessarily for the marine environment, but also for the coastal fisheries such as aquaculture, which has been commonly seen and growing nowadays in the marginal seas of the South and East Asias. So I don't want to go further in details, but so I'd like to invite the Dr. Hakase Hayashida to the floor and give a talk to the online audience. So please have Hayashida-san give a presentation to us.
Thank you, Morioka-san, and hello, everyone. You see my screen in the...
Yes, I can see
your mode. Screen. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, so thank you for the introduction, and thanks to the organizers for inviting me to give a talk at the Future Earth Coast and SIMSEA. I am new to this community, so I'm not quite sure of the audience background. So I try to make this talk quite brief, like not too technical details, but rather focus on the background and concepts of what I'm hoping to achieve in the incoming years. Yeah. So I just gave a title with a question of so what if we can predict phytoplankton blooms 2 months in advance? And I don't have answer at this point, but this is what I'm trying to achieve. So I would like to discuss with everyone here to maybe what can we do with it, this kind of, if we can do this kind of if we can achieve this kind of thing. And so Morioka-san already introduced, but I spent 3.5 years in this little island, Tasmania, in the southern coast, a southern part of Australia. Here, this is Tasmania, the image on the right. And this is the ocean color. So the color of the ocean, specifically, it shows the chlorophyll concentration. So where you see the color is where you see the phytoplankton bloom occurring, and this is from the satellite image. So you can see here nice blooms occurring in northern part of Tasmania. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about briefly ocean prediction of and the prediction of the system we have. And I will talk about ocean biogeochemistry and ecosystems, and talk about why we need to put these components into the ocean prediction system. And then, yeah, talk about ocean health as a whole. So combining both physics and biogeochemistry. So yeah, ocean health prediction. And then I have some discussion, yeah, questions for you guys. Okay, so first I introduced the operational ocean prediction system we have here at Jamstack. And there are different types of prediction, but the prediction I'm talking about is a short range prediction. So on the time scale up to 2 months advance or maybe seasonal prediction. So from days, weeks to a few months in advance. And this is an operational prediction. Operational means that we do this prediction continuously or routinely. So we do this every day to update our prediction system, to update our prediction. And this is done in several steps. The first steps is from the left is the data assimilation. Data assimilation means to combine the available observations from like satellites, floats, and the ship. Combine this with the numerical ocean model to come up with the best state estimate of the current state of the ocean. And then we use the numerical model to predict into the future. And the model, its numerical model consisting of differential equations of ocean flow circulation and also like temperature and the salinity in the ocean. And once the prediction is done, we automate the process to visualize the output. So yeah, so you can see like a picture like this that shows the sea surface height. And then, so that information is available on the website and used for the applications like fisheries and aquaculture, but also for in our current system is used for marine navigation as well. And please feel free to interact me if you have any questions at any point. And so I will briefly talk about, I guess, each points here. And so the first part is the data assimilation. And data assimilation, I am new to data assimilation. So I'm also learning at this point. So I try to find the most intuitive figure, and this is the figure I found. This figure is for actually not for the ocean, but this is for the atmospheric modeling. So this is for the ozone observations, so data assimilation of ozone. But so if data assimilation is to combine observations and models, so observations, observations are, can be sparse in the measurements, limited, so spatially and temporally. So you have data like this, scattered plots. And observation has its own errors. And on the right-hand side, we have our model. Model is gap-free. However, model has its own bias. So you need to take into account the more model errors. So, and then you combine them together to come up with the best, what we think is the best possible, best realistic solution. But this is not a simple interpolation, but you taking it into account the error statistics of the observation and model. And so this is sometimes called the analysis, but also sometimes called reanalysis or state estimate. Okay, so this is, so you do the data simulation to get the best current condition in the ocean of, for example, temperature. And then you run the model into the future. And so here at the Jamstack, in our group, we have the Japan Coastal Ocean Predictability Experiment, and we call this JCOPE. And we have different configurations of the different spatial coverage and different horizontal resolution. So you can see in the figure here, and different configurations are used for different purposes. So has a different duration in in the prediction, and also resolution is different. So like some model, this model, JCOPE 2M, covers a wide Northwest Pacific region, and the prediction duration is 60 days with a horizontal resolution of 9 kilometers. Whereas the smallest coverage simulation we have is these two simulating the bay in Japan coastal regions. So this, because it's very computationally expensive, we can only run it for 5 days, but the resolution of the 200 meter. And more information is available from this QR code. Okay, so now the visualization, we have different venues for visualization, but I would like to just introduce this one. Is the we collaborate with the JAXA. JAXA is the Japan Aerospace Agency. So on the JAXA website, there's a page called Himari Monitor, and where they show their satellite results, but we also have our ocean weather forecast results as well. So here shows temperature prediction so this is what I grabbed this morning from the website, and so this is like a few days in advance. This is prediction for May 18, so 5 days advance ahead, and this is the temperature at the 100-meter depth in the ocean, which shows nicely, which is at the depth that's far from the atmosphere. So you can see the ocean current well. And in this region, you can see the warm Kuroshio current is distributed from the tropics to the south of Japan. And we also have YouTube videos produced by our one of our members. I'm trying to play this. Oh, okay, it's working now. Okay, so the video is working, hopefully. So this shows the 2 months prediction of the color shows the sea surface height. I play again. Color shows sea surface height, and the arrows shows the strength and the angle of the current. And the Kuroshio is where you see the strong current, and where you see the boundary between the two colors contrast. So you can see it changes, from day to day time scale. And sorry, I'm struggling with the pointer. But yeah, you can see the this is how we also produce the output and make it available to the end users. And so why the path of the Kuroshio is important. It's important because it affects the temperature distribution in the ocean, and also it's some fish also use this path Kuroshio to move around from the south to the north. So therefore, the path of the Kuroshio prediction is important. And this is example that shows the reported impacts of the Kuroshio path on the fisheries and aquaculture. So yeah, then you can see, sorry, it's in Japanese, but you can see the pictures that different fish species get a positive impact, or some will get negative impact due to the change in the path of the Kuroshio. And also in the coastal regions, like the seaweed community, yeah, they have also impacted. And also the coastal fixed fish lines, I think. Yeah. Okay, but I would like to raise a question here that, ocean prediction can provide temperature and currents information, but are marine ecosystems affected by temperatures and currents only? And the answer is no. Then introduced ocean health. So the ocean health is determined not only by temperature and currents, but also by biogeochemical and ecological variables, such as oxygen, pH, nutrients, and plankton biomass. So yeah, we want to expand this prediction system to not only simulate physics, but also biogeochemical and ecological processes. Yeah, as shown in the picture. And it has a, well, yeah, it should benefit the different type of stakeholders. So yeah, briefly introduce for the maybe from the land surface or coastal community, not in the ocean. So briefly introduce the ocean biogeochemistry. What the ocean biogeochemistry is that it's basically it's an interaction between the biology and the chemistry or geochemistry in the ocean. And that that regulates the cycling of important chemical elements in the ocean, such as ones that you see on the right. It's chemical elements, but also they are inorganic nutrients. So the nutrients that are consumed by the phytoplankton, and then the phytoplankton are the base of the marine ecosystems. So this will affect the growth of the fish and higher trophic levels. And also it's the biogeochemistry plays a role in the CO2 absorption as well. So how much of this CO2 that's consumed by phytoplankton gets, it sinks down to the seafloor and stored. This is important as well from climate change concept. If you look at this marine ecosystem from a trophic level, in terms of like the pyramid like this, in terms of biomass, I guess, yeah, biomass, then you see that the phytoplankton and zooplankton are the base of the food chain. So any change in these two will affect the upper level. So this we call the bottom-up effect. But yeah, and they are the dominant in terms of the biomass. So this is the focus of my prediction. So these just the two trophic levels. And so how do we, now I will talk about how do we incorporate this process into the ocean prediction system. And I'm using this ecosystem or lower trophic level ecosystem called NPZD models. And N stands for nutrients, and P for phytoplankton, Z for zooplankton, and then D for detritus. Detritus are like the dead component or recycled component of the living cells. So this is an example of schematic for what an NPZD model is like. So these square or these are the different compartments indicated by the gray boxes. So these are what we are trying to simulate in addition to temperature and salinity and ocean currents. Yeah. And the arrows represent the different processes incorporated into model. And each arrow will accompanied by different parameters, like the rates of the process. This needs to be tuned when you, or optimized when you develop a prediction system. And to optimize these parameters and also to get the state estimate, we need a data assimilation system for the MPZD model itself. So in this field, compared to physics, we don't have, we have much less observations available. However, in recent years, there's been an increased effort and in the ocean observations. And in particular, I'm interested in using these autonomous floats called BGC Argo, biogeochemical Argo floats data for the data simulation of the MPZD model. And so I will show how this works in the next slide, but this is a autonomous floats that has multiple sensors that can measure 6 biogeochemical variables, such as chlorophyll and suspended particles, nutrient concentration, and dissolved oxygen concentration, and also the amount of light that's in the water column. And so some of these variables are directly, can be directly connected to the model, what we simulate. So then we can use it to constrain the model. And so how do these BGC Argo floats work? So they are deployed from the ship, and then they will descend to the drifting depths about 1,000 meter, typically 1,000 meter depth. And then they will drift for 10 days. And at every 10 days, they descend down to about 2,000 meter and then starts floating upward, ascending. And as it ascends, it measures the essential ocean variables, such as the biogeochemical variables I mentioned. And when it reaches to the top, it transmits the data and by satellite that we can access the data. And this becomes, so this provides a near real-time data every 10-day cycle or so. And then you get a profile, the vertical profile of the ocean of a specific point, like this on the right. And this can operate. It depends how long it lasts. It depends on the battery life and also the condition of the floats. But it can be as long as several years for the biogeochemical floats. And there's been in this decade, the global ocean Argo community has a goal to deploy 1,000 BGC Argo floats in the global ocean, by the end of this decade. And this is called the One Argo. And you can see the coverage as of April 2025. So it's last month's coverage. And so you can see that there are 775 operational floats at the moment. So we are close to 225 more. But this needs continuous deployment because it will die at some point. So you need to keep on renewing or deploying the new floats over time. And so I point out that the difficulty with the challenge with the SIMSEA community, as indicated by the black boxes here, that there's no BGC Argo floats deployed in this region. I mean, I think partly because it's technically difficult to deploy in a coastal region, a shallow marginal sea where the depth is not very deep. But I think it's also maybe difficult for other reasons as well. But yeah. And lastly, because for the context of the SIMSEA, because so far I've only talked about the ocean around Japan, but we do have configuration of the JCOPE that is beyond the Northwest Pacific, and that's called the JCOPE FGO. And JCOPE FGO is not operational yet, but we do update the reanalysis, so the state estimate of the past ocean conditions once in a while. So we do have the data available since the 1993. And that's freely available for the research purpose, non-profit. Yeah. And there's also a reference recent paper that shows the skillful multi-year prediction of the Kuroshio and Gulf Stream jets and eddy activity using the JCOPE FGO. And so the JCOPE FGO covers this domain. So it's basically a global ocean except the polar region. Yeah, so yes, this can be used for the SIMSEA community. Yeah, so this is my second last slide. So yeah, so I talked about okay, sorry, I will just read this. So operational ocean prediction systems such as JCOPE have assisted marine industry such as navigations and fisheries in the Northwest Pacific since 2001 by providing 2 months prediction of temperature and currents. However, it is important to note that ocean ecosystem health is not only affected by physical processes, but also on biogeochemical processes. So we are exploring data simulation of BGC algo observations for 2 months prediction of phytoplankton blooms and other ecosystem health variables. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. And I would like to, so I just raised a few questions here. In case there's no question, then we can maybe use this as a discussion point. But yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for Hayashida-san. So it was quite informative to learn the history of the JCOPE system, short-range forecast, and also its application for biogeochemicals modelings. We learned a lot of concept of biogeochemical processes in the oceans. I think some of you are not so much familiar with marine science, but maybe you can learn a lot from him. So now that, we'd like to take some questions on his talk. So if you have any questions or some comments on his presentations, we're very open to answer questions. So please raise your hands and also speak to the microphones.
Hakas, do you want to stop sharing your screen so we can see each other?
Okay, yes. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks,
Okay.
Yushi. Maybe you've said that and I have missed it, but who is deciding on the spatial network of the BGC sensors? So who's driving of where they are employed? And what is happening after with the sensors when they reach their lifetime? Do you recollect them or what is their afterlife cycle?
Yep. Thanks for the question. Yeah, so the first part about how do they design the distribution of the floats? I think there's I'm not I don't deploy. I'm just the end user of the BGC algo floats, so I don't know the details. But there is a community, global community for the algo community. So they yeah, they have meetings and I think they organize, but it also depends on because there's no like global funding, right? So that's why there's a little bit of gap in the distribution as well. So some ocean has more floats than the others. So yeah, maybe that's also, I don't know, one reason for the SIMSEA not being able to deploy. But yeah, and the second part, yeah, if I understand correctly, if the floats are not recollected in general, so generally it just gets sinks to the seafloor. Yeah, because it's so difficult to pinpoint and get to the float, and also it costs the ship time, expensive. So I think fuel is used more than the recycling cost of the floats.
Okay, thank you so much for the clarifications. So do you have any other comments on the Dr. Hayashida's talks? Okay, Rene, please.
Hi, good morning. Hope you can hear me well. Thanks, Akase, for that very interesting talk. I noted the black box in the marginal seas where we lack deployments of the Argo. I was just wondering if the system they just described can also assimilate data from other sources. Perhaps existing moored buoys or anything like that in those places.
Yep,
Yeah, thanks.
definitely. Yeah. Thanks for the question. Yeah. Yes. So in this, currently I'm just focusing on the BGC algo because it's easily accessible, but yes, we can definitely, use just local observations or satellite observations within the SIMSEA region for the data simulation. Yeah, so definitely, if we can access the data, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So do you have any other questions and comments on the Dr. Hayashida's talks? Okay, Anjas, please, again.
Thanks, Akasha. It's not my area of expertise, but I'm intrigued by the title of your presentation. What about if we could forecast 2 months in advance the phytoplankton bloom? So can we forecast at the moment, or how ambitious is that goal? What would be the benefits? So where do we want to shift the limits of knowledge here? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the great question. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, so I said 2 months. First of all, why is it 2 months? So 2 months is the sort of limit of the prediction for the ocean cross-shore prediction. Currently, with our technology that we have, is 2 months is the best we can simulate in realistically. So that's why I said 2 months. Yeah. There is other product that provides the biogeochemical prediction on an operational basis. I think, well, oceanography community will know, but it's the ECMWF, the Mercator Ocean. I think they provide the information for 7-day forecast for the phytoplankton and other biogeochemistry. Yeah. but and there are other say coastal very small domain. There are different groups that provides operational basis, but they are typically limited to a few days. So it's they call it nowcasting. So it's just today, tomorrow type of forecasting. So yeah, to extend to 2 months is very ambitious, I think. But yeah, so I don't have answer about predictability, how realistic we can achieve this, but yeah, just being ambitious. Yeah.
Do you have any other comments or questions on the? Okay, another question, please.
Thank you for a very interesting talk. My question is about the possible roles of AI. Yeah. As you know, for example, in the field of the weather forecast, the atmospheric system, you can observe a big trend of introduction by AI-based approach. What they call AI focus system. Yeah, like AI forecast of the typhoon or cyclones and others. Yeah, that is a huge change in my observation. Yeah, AI approach, AI prediction is based on a larger different basic framework. It doesn't need kind of the usual type of the process-based equations. Yeah, very, very different. But accuracy of prediction is comparable or even much better in the typhoon prediction, for example. Yeah. I'd like to know your opinion about the expected roles of the AI approach, also for the prediction or focus of oceanic system. Yeah, that is my question.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would also notice I've seen a paper that shows the outperformance, I think, of the AI over the weather forecast. Yeah. So I think it depends on the purpose. I think AI can be used. So if simply predicting something without understanding, I guess AI can be used. Yeah, and but I like the process-based model. So based on the differential equations of our knowledge, is because we can understand what's happening. We can explain why this is happening and how the plankton is interacting with nutrients and other so process-based modeling. So I'd like to, I think, if I can use AI, I would use like a hybrid style. Maybe for state estimate, like can be done by AI to come up with the best initial conditions, because we may not need to know why this you get this output. Yeah. But I don't know, AI is also evolving faster than my knowledge. So maybe AI is no longer a black box. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so do you have any others, some remaining questions or issues? Okay. Okay, so there is one comment in the chat box. So is there any possibility that the instrument that being used could be lost since it is sinking to the seafloor, and how is it being tracked? So maybe you can see the chat box.
Yeah, I think definitely, it could be a possibility that the instrument, the floats can be lost. Yeah. Also, yeah, I like sometimes it can lose the signal. So it does happen. Yeah. So that's why the lifetime of the floats varies as well. Some can go not useful or not trackable after a few cycles. But in a best case, it can last like more than 5 years at the moment. Yeah. But this is also very new as well. So BGC algo floats maybe only the last 10 years when, yeah, where the data became readily available. Yeah. So it's a very emerging ocean observing system.
Okay. So, and also there's another question from Anjas. So we can read this. Oh, but it's okay. So how can a researcher collaborate with you to see how the model can be applied in their area of interest? That's another question.
Yeah, I'm happy to collaborate and always seeking, yeah, especially where this, yeah, our product can be used for what kind of application. Within our group, yeah, we use for different purposes. And for example, our ocean current prediction can be used to track the Japanese eel spawning area, or yeah, those kind of particle tracking. Yeah, so I think there's potential, and yeah, I'm happy to collaborate.
Okay. So if you might have some question, but maybe you can maybe ask him later. But we are a bit running out of time. So thank you so much, Ayashida-san. And
Thank you.
also last session is about like call to actions. So I'm going to share my screen first to give you some ideas what action we can do for the next. So can you see my slide? Okay. So let me. So today, Dr. Hakase, introduced the like short range prediction of phytoplankton blooms, using like a very, state of the art, ocean models. But maybe we can use that information for some counter measures for some fisheries such as aquaculture, other stuff. But maybe we need to think about what we can do for example, better understanding, also predicting the phytoplankton blooms. We already discussed maybe more, coverage of the monitoring systems in the South and East Asia's marginal sea regions, and also maybe high resolution modeling, and also AI approach, suggested by the professors Nadaokas. And also, based on these kind of the phytoplankton blooms information predicted by short-range forecast, what can our specific action can we undertake, for the next, especially for the end user, like stakeholders, like fishermen, or, maybe local community peoples, So maybe we have to pass our information to those end users in the more understandable ways, I think that will be the next step we should think about that. And also, as a researchers, maybe we need to think about other action, for example, like a collaborative project to use this prediction systems, or even, monitorings, etc. And also write up like review paper or some collaborative papers, across the ages. And also maybe maybe in the future, we should plan to organize some like international conference, more specific, specialized for some like this marine and biogeochemistries, or even other topics. So I would like to ask to suggest any specific or tangible actions for the next steps and after these seminars. So if you have any comments on the specific actions, please raise your hand and speak to the microphones. Thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing. So do you have any comments for the some specific actions for the next steps on today's talk? Okay, Anja, please.
Thank you, Yoshi. Hakase, I'm aware that you have worked in Tasmania, and the Australian government, they have established research project that partners researchers with industry around the blue economy. I have put the link in the chat. I was wondering if you know about this group, and if not, I think it would be that would be a good first outreach to present your findings and your work. That is a suggestion. I'm very happy to connect you with the group if you not already have collaborators in Tasmania already.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I don't know this the organization, but I'm not sure who are involved as well. So I will check the website. I'm just looking at the front page, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I would imagine they would be really interested in your work. In particular, there's a large aquaculture industry in South Tasmania and Northern Tasmania to be established. So yeah, if you have a look and let me know if you're interested.
Okay.
That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Thanks for the great suggestion.
Okay, thank you so much. I think connecting, like between researchers and also like end users, some stakeholders are quite important elements for this, outcomes of this kind of seminars, and also, and anything else? Do you have any comments or some, suggestions for the some specific action for the next steps? Okay, Lenez, okay, please.
Yeah, Yushi, thanks. It's not my field, so I'm not so sure what's going on in this area of research, but it just struck me that the potential natural area for collaboration would be the Kurusho, because it connects different places, and it's an important mechanism for a lot of things, temperature, productivity. So I wonder if there's any interest in pursuing work with Kurusho as a theme for collaboration or for discussion. I don't know. I'm just asking. Yeah.
Do you mean like that to use the Kurosho as a theme to collaborate? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's important. It's dynamic. It has a lot of implications, including climate issues.
Yeah.
Is there any work along those lines that's happening already, or do you see that as a good area of fostering this collaborative research?
Yeah, there's an international, maybe multiple, I don't know, but oceanography communities international that are centered around Kuroshio. Yeah. I can think of one group. It's called a CSK2, and they had a session in a conference in the last year in Thailand. I think was that it was something UN related conference, right? I think Morioka-san was there.
Yes, I think CSK2 is one good example, for the like Kuroshio project and dedicated to like, and monitoring and also predicting like the Kuroshio current regions. I think that was the last year's Westpac UN Ocean Decade Conference, Bangkok, Thailand, last April, So that's a long, I think, still long-lasting project, international project, in the East Asia. So I think that is a good, fits in your, I think, interest. Yeah. Okay, and also one comment from Professor Uematsu. He suggests a very interesting AI. Another maybe input is atmospheric input, another AI of iron dust, nitrogen compounds contributing phytoplankton bloom. So maybe Hayashida-san didn't mention about like the contribution from atmospheric input to the marine ecosystem. I think that would be the next step.
Yeah. If it's I mean, I guess yes, that's good point. It can trigger like the Australian bushfire that fueled the phytoplankton bloom, massive phytoplankton bloom in the Southern Ocean. So that was because of the iron, from the bushfire. So if this kind of short time scale events can be atmospheric input can be supplied somehow. I think it will be useful.
So in your model, you currently don't consider the input, some atmospheric, like any data for chemical data, atmospheres, like four things, your models. It's like
currently, we don't have that, but I think it's a good point given the especially the south of Croatia is like a ocean desert where nutrient limited. So I think atmospheric supply is very important. So I should collaborate with someone from the atmosphere and chemistry and
I think this helps to evolve some like land oceans interactions, some research, I think that in the future, focusing on like south and east coastal marginal seas. I think that's quite helpful for, I think maybe better understanding, also predicting marine ecosystems along the coast. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, please.
No, I don't have any.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do you have any other last minute comments or questions on Dr. Hayashida's talk? So if not, I would like to close these sessions, and also I would like to thank all the attendees, for raising lots of questions and also showing interest to the today's seminars. This is our first attempt to organize some like Future Earth Coast and also SIMSEA joint youth seminars. So we plan to hold this kind of seminars once a season, maybe every 2-3 months. So this is I think today the first like seminars. For hopefully we can have another seminars maybe in the next 2-3 months. Hopefully July or August, and different moderators and also our members. So we're gonna disseminate the seminar information through our networks and hope to see you online again. And also thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.